Oh, hello. We have the 13th of October 2025 right now, and as I promised before, finally maybe I started recording videos about many different countries all around the world. This is regarding what astrology says about the days to come, sooner or later, and we start with Estonia. This is a small country in Europe, one of the Baltic countries that is neighboring Russia and Latvia and Belarus, as far as I remember. And let's have a quick look at the horoscope of Estonia, and let's see if there is anything interesting that is going to happen according to astrology in Estonia in the years to come. So these are the transits for more or less now. We have a date of the 18th of October 2025, as you can see here. And the first interesting thing is that we still have this construct in the sky, and we will have for the next couple of years. And it is very strong because we have interaction of these four planets, Neptune and Saturn, that are close to each other. They are not in strict conjunction yet. It is going to happen in February next year, 2026. And these two planets are getting extra energy from Uranus and Pluto. And I'm sorry. And it is a very strong construct. Simply, if something else is being added to this trine and two sextiles, it means that there's enormous amount of energy associated with these four planets, four slow-moving planets in our skies. But if your personal planets are affected, like Saturn of Estonia is conjunct by Pluto, as you can see here, it means that loads of energy is flowing to this point in your horoscope or horoscope of a certain nation or a company. So, because this construct is so strong, I do expect lots of interesting events happening all over the world, as they already happened in this year and the year before. So, this is what is happening right now in the sky of Estonia. So this transiting Pluto is affecting the natal Saturn of Estonia, and this is a very strong interaction on its own. But then we have trine from Uranus and sextiles from Neptune and Saturn. That's later next year. But let's focus on this interaction to begin with. So, Pluto, the god of underworld and immense and heavy pressure and destruction and reconstruction, is affecting the 10th natal house of Estonia, with Saturn in it, in Aquarius. So, what I would expect from this very transit on its own, I would expect immense pressure from the outside world on the Estonian government and the way the government is managing the country itself. So that's number one. And the other aspect that we are going to have right now in the sky, in Estonian sky, is conjunction of Estonian and of Mars and Mercury almost in the same time on Estonian Pluto in Scorpio in the 6th house. And that's just a brief transit of Moon conjuncting the natal Mars of Estonia. What it means, for the time being, I would say that October, right now, there might be a bit of pressure, but this is just the beginning, in my less than humble opinion. So these days, that would be in about 5, 6, 7 days, there might be some action that both Estonian government and maybe Russian or Belarusian government will take. And this is just an initiation for the time being, yeah? Because I think that the first sort of... Oh, I have forgotten to mention Jupiter, that is moving forward, but is going to go backwards soon. So Jupiter is affecting the bottom of the horoscope, so the roots of existence of the nation. And usually, well, not usually, Jupiter does not have a consciousness and does not bring good or bad events. It simply expands them, so pumps them up and makes them bigger. So I would expect that the Estonian government will have to focus on the roots anyways, because of the transit of Jupiter here in the area of the roots of the natal horoscope of Estonia. But let's have a look at the progressed horoscope as well. So progressed Mercury is going to meet natal Mars of Estonia soon. How soon is it going to be? That's gonna be just before Christmas 2025. But this is not what what I would highlight as such at this stage, because next year, early next year, beginning on the half of January 2026, this is when I see some action really can take place in Estonia, because we have a parade of planets that is going to conjunct this natal Saturn of Estonia that's here. And so Pluto is still going to be very close to natal Saturn, and then we'll have activity from Moon that will move to this very conjunction. That will be Moon is gonna go first, as far as I remember. Moon, and then all the other planets are going to conjunct Saturn in a very short period of time. So between, let's say, 16th to the 20th of January 2026. And these 5 planets moving in the same time conjuncting Saturn of Estonia, in my less than humble opinion, are going to make some significant action. And we have to have a look that there is one more player here, that's Jupiter, that I've spoken earlier, that is going to, in the similar time, will ask Estonian government to focus on the roots of the existence of the country. We inflate the problems, but it does every 12 years, so that wouldn't be such a biggie. But we have to remember that this very area of the horoscope is going to get affected by both Pluto, by this planetary parade, and conjunction of Neptune and Saturn, and these are the roots of the existence of the Estonian nation. So, in that period of time, that would be half of January next year. January next year, probably February as well. I would expect some action regarding this very Baltic country. And as I like Estonia and Estonians, I wish them the best, but then again, I try not to take any sides here. So simply, there is going to be a massive amount of energy flowing to these points of Estonian horoscope next year, and that's not everything, because the action that is going to take place later, that's 2027, summer 2027, we have Uranus on the ascendant of Estonia, and then Jupiter, return of Jupiter to the natal position as well, affecting this area of the horoscope. and then Mars return. That's all gonna happen in the same time. And trine from Saturn to this very area of horoscope that is responsible for the roots and the existence of Estonia. So again, I was just showing my face instead of showing you the horoscope. I'm sorry about that. Let's get back to the important points. Did I show you that? I did probably. So again, yeah, I would expect some action January next year for Estonia, and then that's the year 2027 when Saturn is going to affect the ascendant of Estonia, and we'll have Jupiter and Mars return. So that would be 3rd of July 2027. So overall, what can we expect from this very transits in Estonian horoscope? Well, lots of action, because these countries in the very center of Europe, like Poland, Slovakia, Ukraine, and Baltic countries, are in the very middle of everything that is going on in the world right now. And what is happening in the world right now, you can feel it from the news. So the collective West is challenged by the collective East, let's say, mainly by China, in leading the world. And in my less than humble opinion, I might be wrong, the West has already lost, at least economically. Still, the United States is a very strong, militarily strong country, but the question is it? And as in January, February next year, United States, through astrology, in my opinion, is going to experience some sort of existential difficulty, similar to what was going on in the United States during the Civil War. There might be lots of imbalance all over the world. And as I said, I'm gonna have a look at as many countries as possible. Countries that I think are important and are in the middle of the action, like, for example, Estonia. And these aspects say that it is not yet. I would say that there might be some sort of an initial action next year, January, February for Estonia, and then year 2027, when more action for this country can be expected. And I will try to compare it to other Baltic states, and especially Poland, because Poland seems to have a very interesting horoscope for the years to come. It is not as interesting for Estonia, I would say, as it is for Poland, but we'll see. What I would say is, maybe next time when we analyze another country, I will try to have a look at the maps from before World War I, what we had in Europe, and we'll think, is it possible that this sort of borders would be possible for Europe in future? And what would it mean for countries like Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania and Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Ukraine, because I expect that this very center of Europe will change borders soon. Anyway, I will just try to show you when the action is going to take place, not with what sort of an action, but at least I will try to give you the right timing of the events to come, because from the astrological point of view, we can compare it to the previous activities in these countries, but as I have only one horoscope of Estonia, that would be the most recent one from the 1990, I think. August 19th. Do I have the horoscope here? Let's have a look. I should have it somewhere here. 1 second. I think it was the 20th of August 2000. I'm sorry. 1990, yeah? Estonia. So there isn't really much to compare, but when I will have a look at the horoscope of Poland, that's a different story because we'll be able to go back in time and check what was going on, let's say 500 years ago with similar transits. And I cannot really do that with Estonia because this country has horoscope from 1991. That's August 1991, 20th of August 1999. So with Poland, it's gonna be easier to do this prediction. And as I said, I don't have so much data, and I don't have the other horoscope from 1918, as far as I remember, when Estonia gained independence the first time in the history as an independent country for a number of years. If you have date of that birth of Estonia, please give me that date, and I will try to have a look at that as well. But for the time being, as I already said, we can expect some sort of an action for Estonia coming soon. How serious it is gonna be, we'll find out in January, February 2026, and then in the year 2020, summer 2027. So for the time being, that's it. And I would strongly suggest that it might be a good idea maybe to keep a full tank of fuel in your car. You'll never know. The times are tough right now, and they are going to get even more interesting next year. So we'll see what's going to happen. Soon I will try to do more and more horoscopes of other countries, and maybe we'll be getting somewhere interesting. I've never did Iran, and hopefully that's going to be the next video that I'm going to shoot in a couple of days. So that's it for today. And yeah, that's the timing for Estonia 2000 and early 2026, and then summer 2027 might be quite interesting. So see you then. Bye bye.